Hello, folks, and welcome to today's game. We have got the quarterfinals here, Alberta versus Quebec at the U17 National Basketball Championships here in Fredericton. I am Philip Drost, joined by Roger Drost. Glad you could join us for today's game. Sure to be an exciting one. Two very talented teams, and glad you could join us. So Alberta, first chance to get a bucket here to start the game off. Takes a three-point shot, rebounded by Quebec.
Always interested to see the players that go for that three ball real early.
Quebec now going the other way, or Alberta rather. And Steele now on the break. Alberta's got numbers, and we got a slam dunk to start things off for the first 2 points of the game.
Oliver Maxence Prosper comes in hard from the right side and two-hand tomahawk slams that thing. Great way to start the game. Semifinal action here at the U17 Nationals.
Thinking about that three-point shot, getting inside. Doesn't get that floater to go, going the other way now. And defense changing that shot, back up again. 3 attempts is enough.
Alberta's got to clear out a little bit there and get some of those defensive rebounds.
Alberta coming in with a tough matchup. Quebec, one of the favorites of this tournament. But I'm sure Alberta isn't scared off by any means as they knock down the triple.
At this level, it becomes about confidence. You and I talked a little bit during some of the U15 games that sometimes there's a significant disparity with talent and skill. But once they reach the semifinals of a national tournament, usually it's about gutting it out and teams that want it more rather than a skill disparity. Although I've been hearing some pretty impressive things about Quebec. This is the first time that I've had an opportunity to watch them play due to the schedules. But the guys that have been speaking to us in the media room have been telling us that they're a pretty high-flying basketball team, and they are favorites in this tournament, but I'm quite sure Alberta doesn't care.
Rejection there now, going in transition, and that's going to be a foul and count the basket.
A little bit of NBA continuation there. You'll notice every time Quebec gets the ball, they gun for the hoop. They're not settling for outside shots and mid-rangers. They're going hard to the basket. Has to be a coaching decision.
And Willem Wanza unable to get the free throw to go. And tough defense from Alberta. 6-3 here early on, 7:37.
Should be a 14-second reset on the, but maybe they're just calling it straight out of bounds as opposed to a kickball.
Ball moving around now for Quebec. Tough mid-range jumper, doesn't go. Offensive board, just grazed the rim and rejection inside. Found a seam to the hoop, tried to push it around. Another nice look inside, and that's going to be 2 points.
So the 2 games you did yesterday were full of intensity, were close for over 3.5 quarters, and really some of the funnest basketball that we've called in these tournaments. And this one looks like it's shaping out to be the same.
And going to be another foul inside. Sending Chris Everett Malonga to the free throw line.
So Quebec took that only mid-ranger when the shot clock was short, but other than that, they are just content to go right to the rim and draw the fouls.
Caleb Swanton Roger picking up the foul. And Malonga goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 7-5 here, 7 minutes left to go in the first quarter. If you'd like to reach out at any point during the broadcast, we'd love to hear from you. You can find me on Twitter at Phil Drost. That's PhilDrost. You can let me know who you're cheering for, where you're watching from, what you think of the game so far, all that fun stuff. Love to hear from you. Alberta moving the ball around here. And going to be called for an offensive foul, hooked around as he tried to get by the defender.
Alberta not content to shoot anymore either. They're trying to work that ball around and find a seam. Well, it feels a little bit like a zone.
Now a three-pointer and one triple for Quebec.
Chance at a 4-point play. It doesn't happen often.
Now Nolan Anderson picking up a foul. It seems like there might have been a mistake at the table, and he got the last foul as well. He's now got 3 fouls.
That's something with really only 3.5 minutes gone in the game to sit with 3 fouls in the first quarter. And, for a starter, that's going to be trouble.
Nice move there, but couldn't get the 3 to go. Offensive rebound. Looking for a screen.
These rims down here certainly have some action.
And almost was going the other way, but calling a kick ball here. We'll stay with Alberta. 14 on the shot clock.
I think there's going to be a shot clock adjustment possibly.
Ref saying something to a member of the coaching staff on Alberta. Not sure what.
I think they were clarifying who that last foul was on possibly. That should be 3.
Doesn't go. Offensive board. And now saved it, but saved it to the opponent, which isn't what you want to do. Offensive board, and going to be a foul inside. So already 5 fouls on Alberta, 0 on Quebec.
That lob pass out to the white line was a challenge for Alberta. Quebec just way too athletic to be giving up passes like that. They're going to grab them. One thing we can say about Quebec is that their free throw shooting is terrible.
Tough go from the free throw line so far.
Yeah, I take that back. Not terrible. Challenging.
Nelson Celine hitting 1 of 2 from there.
That's been the difference for Alberta. They'd be behind by a lot more.
Alberta trying to get their offense going here. Tough defense coming from Quebec. Nice drive to the rim, and that will get them 2 points.
Mentioned it the last time down the floor. Alberta's looking for that seam, and they created one with some good screens up top.
Quebec now going the other way. Ball moving around. Nice hands. Weaver able to grab onto that one.
Lots of intensity early on here with both of these teams. They know what's at stake. Lose and go home.
And who would want to go home when you're here in Fredericton?
Especially with the weekend so close.
Exactly. And great move there to get around the defender. Weaver playing strong here early on, but right back at them.
UNB's got to be careful, or Alberta's got to be careful on those fouls. You might hear me say UNB more than once. Philip and I do the webcasting for the UNB Reds.
And moving screen coming from William Tong. His first foul of the game. So 4-point game, 4:26 left to go in the first quarter.
Both teams playing well-disciplined basketball.
Shot in the corner, good look. Doesn't go, put back. Rose up high to touch that one in. Ten seconds on the shot clock here. Weaver now dishes it to the corner. Nice ball movement, but they got to put a shot up. And that doesn't go, and that should be a shot clock violation. (15-9), Quebec. Looking to extend that lead. Alberta would rather they didn't.
Alberta very active on defense. That was a push-off, it felt like.
He'll get the two regardless. Drive at the rim. Noticed he didn't have the size to get it, but he knew his teammate could.
Extremely high IQ move there to give up the ball. He had his defender beat, but knew there was some long arms going to come at him.
And quick trigger on that one, nothing but net.
This kid can play.
Alberta now not wanting to let this to slip to a double-digit lead for Quebec. Going to want to get up a bucket.
Halfway down.
Offensive board, and he'll head to the free throw line.
Give Alberta lots of credit. They've had some decent offensive rebounds, giving them another chance at buckets.
Nathan Barton collecting that rebound, headed to the free throw line.
Really forcing Quebec into their first foul of the game with 2:38 in the first. That's significant.
And that foul going on Nelson Celine, his first of the game. And Barton gets that second one to drop. Nice hands there from Alberta, and right back at them.
Triple team coming up here.
Cross-court pass, makes it there. Thought about the three-point look, and he soared to the basket there, getting his team the two. Quick move and transition. He knew he wanted to shoot that, fight for the board, and Alberta now going the other way. Pace picking up here. And that shot rejected, but just treaded the out-of-bounds line.
Alberta with a break there. Down 9, now down 6. Opportunity to take another shot to cut the lead to 4. Alberta calls a timeout.
First timeout of the game. So exciting game so far, but Alberta certainly got their work cut out for the very talented Quebec team here. But as you said, just at this level, this is the game of basketball, and anyone can beat anyone.
I think after the first quarter, we'll probably find the shooting percentages for Quebec are higher than that of Alberta. And last night during one of the games, that switched in the third quarter, and the team that had been down by a lot ended up winning by a significant amount because their shooting percentage just went up. And especially in the first quarter, Alberta's got to find their range. I think, certainly Quebec's got some incredibly athletic guys that play above the rim.
And the interesting thing about these tournaments is these aren't teams that ever get to see each other, really.
Right.
You don't have a familiarity that you do with a team that you might see in a university or high school play. So a bit of feeling out happens during this first quarter.
Yeah.
You get to understand the other team, and then as the game goes on, basketball and IQ and coaching really become a major factor.
And certainly you'll see the coaches from the other U17 teams in the gym here. We saw it last night in the U15 games. All the coaches from the other teams that could be here were here watching, because you're right, that's when the scouting's done. Typically not done during the season.
Tough shot, gets his own rebound, dishes it out. Three-pointer now on the way. Alberta fighting for the rebounds hard.
But again, another offensive rebound for Alberta, so it's strong for them. They're doing the work that they have to do on the boards. They just have to increase their shooting percentage a little bit, and there is no disparity in this game.
Quebec now trying to push it. Rotating the ball around. And he was fouled on the way up. That's going to be two more for Quebec.
They started the quarter with a flurry of fouls. In fact, one of their starters for Alberta had to sit with three. But the last 3 or 4 minutes, they've played a lot cleaner game. They kept their hands off, except for that one just a moment ago.
Foul on Nathan Barton, his first. Prosper at the free throw line.
I said earlier that Quebec was shooting terribly from the free throw line, but I think that has a lot to do with getting familiar with the space as well. And because since I made that comment, they've hit 3 for 3. So,
look, it's not often the people behind you while you're shooting free throws are practicing their boxing. Bit of a little quirk. Mid-range jump shot.
Look at that.
Go.
Really another opportunity for an offensive rebound, but just slipped out of their hands.
And just in between two men. Gonna go to Alberta.
Both these teams showing just a lot of athleticism.
Under a minute now. He's going to take the three-pointer. And another offensive board. Passes it, and that's going to be good. Owen Weaver doing a lot of scoring for the boys in blue.
I'm just so impressed about how high these guys get.
Owen Weaver tried the no-look pass, and they tried an alley-oop and shut down well read by the Alberta defender.
I was waiting for you to leave your seat there on that potential alley-oop, Philip.
I might have fallen off the stage.
Built a nice stage for the broadcast team here at the Richard J. Curry Center.
Mid-ranger, another jump shot blocked. Fast break again. This time, no alley-oop, just a drive to the rim, and that will be 2 free throws.
Just barely got him in the head on the way by. Otherwise, it would have had a clean block there. But it's very difficult to do with that kind of speed going on, is to stay clean. I think that's going to be the 8th foul for Alberta this quarter.
We'll take a look at it when we get the end of quarter statistics. Enoch Kalambe at the free throw line. And he hits the second.
So the last 5 free throws have gone down. Quite simply just a matter of getting used to this gym.
So 1 second left. Chance for a heave. And not going to be one. That will end the first quarter. Quebec leads 24-16 over Alberta. Fun game here so far. No action on Twitter yet. No one wanting to chat with us.
So I have to offer the coffee again.
Yeah, you've been offering a coffee to the first person to tweet at us each time.
It's a serious offer.
It is. You have to drive a little bit of a ways or fly.
Well, you might be here on business or pleasure, and you say, hey, I want to collect my coffee. You call up Raj or send a tweet to Phil. You'll get a hold of me. We'll get you that free coffee that we potentially owe you. So at Phil Drost, tell us where you're watching from, who you're supporting.
Always fun to hear from the fans across the country, and that's one of the great things. This is across the country, not only from Quebec and Alberta, but I'm sure fans from across the provinces are tuning in to see some of the top young, talented basketball players in our game today, and Canadian basketball really on a rise, and this is your chance to see some of the best and brightest. I understand some of these players could be headed to Division I schools in the NCAA. So lots of talent going on here, and really fun to watch. So you were right. 8 fouls committed by Alberta, just 1 by Quebec. We'll look at that foul situation because there were some questions about that. Nolan Anderson, number 4 for Alberta with 3 fouls. Other than that, everyone's only got 1. So he's really soaking things up there. Leading in scoring so far, Benedict Matherin for Quebec has 8 points and 2 boards. And then on the way for Alberta, leading with 8 points, is Owen Weaver, captain of the team. So exciting game so far. Alberta playing a 2-3 zone here. Ball moving around. Good passing there. But Alberta's defense reacting quickly. And that's going to be out of bounds off of Quebec. Alberta trying to cut into this lead. You don't want to see that grow into a double-digit difference. 3-pointer in the corner. They've been blocked on a few of those shots, but that time faked it, stepped back, and drained it.
5-point lead for Quebec now. One of the things that we noticed last night, we talked about it a lot, very, very few easy baskets. How many breakaway, easy open shots have we seen in either of the games that we've done? The answer is none. And in this game, the same thing. Every basket that is scored is earned.
And earned 3-pointer there for Quebec, answering the call. Trying to run off some screens.
Playing tight.
7 seconds left on the shot clock. Very deep shot and unable to draw iron on that one. Just a little too much distance between him and the 3-point line, but it did look like he was comfortable shooting that. It didn't look like he had to
his first attempt of the game was about 3 feet outside the 3-point line as well, so it does appear to me that he is used to shooting that shot, and we will see him likely hit that. Good box out there. by Alberta to get that rebound.
Euro step, puts it up, tough shot, and bounces around everywhere but not in.
These rims have a lot of action in them.
And more action, that one dribbling all around before dropping.
Largest lead for Quebec now at 10, 7:53 left in the second quarter. Alberta just working hard, ball not dropping for them, but playing good solid basketball. Quebec just a little bit more solid.
Trying to go to work inside, using his body to get in there, drawing the foul.
Playing extremely strong.
Weaver 4 of 7 from the field so far this game. Chance to add to his point total.
Nice crowd here tonight for this one. Semifinal action. U17, U15 Boys National Championship hosted in Fredericton, New Brunswick at the University of New Brunswick Richard J. Curry Center.
And both free throws good to go from Weaver. Quebec now going the other way. Going to try and use their size inside, but that zone making it difficult. Deep three-point shot, and that's good. You can tell he can shoot it.
That's not his first.
Second three-pointer made for, actually a third three-pointer made for him.
Weaver.
And stepped out of bounds. I can tell you the Quebec bench saw it.
Yeah, refs had some help on that one.
11-point game here. Great crowd at the Curry Center. Not a lot of empty seats. Dish in the corner. Another open look for him. That rebound collected.
Yeah, Alberta caught a little flat-footed. No box out there. Gave up an offensive rebound that cost him. Down 13 here.
Yeah, getting into a bit of danger territory for Alberta. You don't like to be down double digits for too long. Some would say ever, but...
Some would say ever, you're right. But, again, experienced team. Your coaches do so much to prepare for this tournament. They have these kids for, 2.5 months.
And great pass inside, but great rejection. Met him at the backboard. And mid-range jump shot, but still that length bothering shooters, and a foul going against Quebec.
Interesting call.
Prosper not so sure he agrees, but the ref was right there.
Yep.
Prosper's first foul of the game. And another three-point look, and that one's good. He splashes it home. Logan Powell. Three-point battle happening here.
Did his team a big favor by hitting that three. Cuts the lead to 8. 5 minutes left here in the second quarter. Good rebounding by Alberta. And try
and
again.
Another three on the way. That one doesn't go. 8-point game. 5:17 left in the quarter. Drive to the rim and foul there. That's going to be an and one. Tremendous strength to get that one to the hoop after being fouled.
So a little bit of a coaching question for you. So Alberta hit that three. Got a great defensive rebound, prevented Quebec from scoring, runs down, doesn't use any shot clock, and goes for a three. Of course, if they hit that, they cut it to 5. They put a lot of pressure on Quebec. If they miss it, you're in a situation similar to what we're in now where they're back down 11.
So the question is, do you take that shot?
Yeah, do you take that shot that early?
That's one where you decided whether it goes in or not, I think. Great drive there, but now he's going to be called for the over-the-back foul. Swanton Roger. And that's his third. So some foul challenges continuing here for Alberta. Not quite, obviously not near as bad as that first quarter. Only 2 fouls for the team here, but still 2 guys with 3 fouls. And open chance at a lay-in, but misses it. Enough defense collapsed on him.
Alberta fortunate that they didn't get called for any contact there.
And foul on his way to the hoop.
Not going to get anybody to the free throw line, I don't think.
Alberta a chance to cut back into that lead.
14 on the shot clock. Pastoring.
Great drive to the rim, and that one goes down. Ball moving around here. Quebec, great drive at the rim, and how did he get that to go?
Quebec getting very fortunate with some of these, what you might call circus shots, that are finding their way into the bottom of the net.
I wouldn't call it fortunate, I'd call it practice.
I have to agree with you.
7 on the shot clock. Just working hard to get to the rim, and that one, oof. Looked like it was going down, did so much work to get the initial attempt, and that's going to be an and-one. And some tremendous speed to get that layup. Foul going against Logan Powell.
Have we given away our coffee yet, Philip?
Not that I've seen. Maybe my Twitter feed just isn't refreshing, but haven't seen that. That free throw missed. Going to go to Quebec.
At Phil Drost. Anybody watching from Alberta? Just kind of late afternoon on a Thursday. Maybe you've left work early, taking Friday off for the long weekend, creating your own long weekend.
That three doesn't go. And taken right back. Pass inside and easy bucket there. Game starting to slip away a bit for Alberta. This is a bit of a danger zone here.
Yeah, 33-16 left in the second quarter. Down 15. Hand check on number 11.
Nwamba picking up the foul. And referee giving a flop warning to Quebec for the shot, their last shot there. And don't hear that often. Alberta taking another three in the corner. That doesn't go, and rebound pushed out to Quebec. Now on the break. And fight for the board, and we got a foul inside.
A lot of whistles kind of disrupted a bit of the flow this quarter. 8 fouls called already.
4 fouls on each team. Nathan Barton picking up his second foul, so now a guy with 2 guys with 3, 1 with 2. If this game comes down to the end of it, Alberta could be in some trouble.
Down 16 right now, not a comfortable place to be. Deep in foul trouble with a few of their starters.
Weaver had to get rid of it. Lane to the hoop, taken, but couldn't get the bucket, and that's going to be a jump ball. Going to stay with Alberta. Alberta has knocked down some big threes. See if they try and get another one. 2 seconds, and they had to shoot it, but stepped out of bounds. So we continue throughout this week to see that side of the court, actually.
That corner right over there
that
seems
corner,
to be
a lot of out-of-bounds calls going there. Drive to the rim, and that one looks like it's going. Looked like it might have been off of Alberta, but ref pretty close there. Made that call with confidence.
Well, sometimes it's a call either you want to call the foul on Quebec because they made contact and or just give the ball to Alberta. I've seen that being called a time or two.
Dish out to the corner. And another one of those tough lob passes you mentioned. In transition now, lost it. And that's going to stay with Quebec. 2:03 left to go in the first half here. Quebec leading by 17. Almost lost that one. Quebec with some nice ball movement here, and it gets them an open lane. Alberta needs to make something happen now. Dive on the ball, on the floor for the ball. Now Alberta going the other way. Nice fake and gets the lane just as you draw it up. That's what they teach you at basketball school.
I probably should have gone.
I skipped class. You can tell. Free throw class, conditioning class. I didn't miss foul class, though. I was good at those.
Yep, 5-foul Phil is the name that was granted to him by, well, the whole league.
I also led the league in double fouls, so.
That is true.
Pretty big stat right there. But to much more talented players here. Quebec leading by 17 over Alberta. And good drive to the rim, but just didn't get over far enough on that left side. One minute left in half number one. We'll take a 15-minute break once that clock expires and then be back to you for some more basketball. And good drive there. Able to get that up and over despite some close defense.
Great body control.
And Quebec hasn't really gone on a big run, just kind of chipped their way into this lead. Just slowly but surely preventing any runs from Alberta and continuing to take those small advantages. And a bunch of small advantages equals, well, a big one.
Give you a chance to check your Twitter feed, see if anybody's reached out to us from either of those two provinces, Quebec or Alberta.
Hopefully people can hear us. That's always important.
Yeah. We might have to check that during the break as well.
So no tweets yet. Your coffee card will stay untouched so far. But maybe people are just too busy watching the game to tune in on Twitter. You know, a lot of people now, you watch the game on your phone. And if you're watching the game on your phone, you can't wait to start tweeting.
Yep.
So that's a challenge of the modern age we live in.
So that's what we're going to chalk it up to right now,
Yep.
is that everybody in Quebec and in Alberta have great data packages.
Yep.
They're
Terrific.
watching the game on their phone on their way home from work.
As you should.
As you should.
Not if you're driving, though.
Well, public transportation.
Exactly.
And then they're, when the break happens, likely we'll get some Twitter action at Phildrost, Phildrost.
Probably hundreds. Alberta now trying to make a nice play here and do so. Another great fake, sending the defenders going the wrong way. 17-point game. Six now. Not much time for a shot. Great drive, foul, and some free throws coming up. So 1.3 on the clock. Chance to make this an 18-point lead if he knocks this down.
And he does.
So one final heave again for Alberta, see if they can get it. And doesn't work. And that will end half number one. Quebec leads 50-32. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Hello, folks, and welcome to half number 2 here at the Richard J. Currie Center. Quebec leads Alberta 50-32 at the U17 Canadian Nationals. And on the break, we had our very first tweet of the game. Exciting to see as the Twitter sphere just loads up on my phone here. Ron Swoosh watching from Owen Weaver. Owen Weaver having a terrific game so far from Alberta. So great to hear from you. You have qualified for a free coffee from Roger Drost. And Owen Weaver leading his team in points with 10. Meanwhile, for Quebec, Mathurin leading the way with 18 points. 3 of 7 from 3, knocking down that triple. Alberta's going to have to come out aggressive here if they want to make a dent in this 18-point lead for Quebec. And about as good a defense as you could hope for, creating that 24-second violation. A little more at the stats. Quebec, 18 free throw attempts in that first half, shooting 55%. Meanwhile, Alberta only getting 4 free throw attempts, hitting 3 of them. Nice putback there. Nice drive to the rim, and again, great body control to get that layup to go. Incredibly athletic players here at the national championships. And that doesn't go. Foul over the back. That is his 4th foul, I believe. Yes, it is. So Swanton Roger picking up his 4th.
Disappointing, too, because it looked like they had both players had mitts on the ball, and it was just the way the Quebec player fell. He made contact with the Alberta player. The official determined that was a foul call. But for his 4th, that's disappointing.
And we got our first tweet just a moment ago from Alberta. If you'd like to reach out at any point, we'd love to hear from you. You can find me on Twitter at Phil Drost, PhilDrost. You can let me know who you're cheering for, where you're watching from, really whatever you want, and that fouls him out. Swanton Roger picking up that 5th foul. Very frustrating, I'm sure. He's going to have to take a break for the rest of the game.
Has to be disappointing.
You know, coach making the call to leave him in the game. Often a debated call there on both sides, whether you should take a guy out of a game when he's got foul trouble or just say, you know what? Let's play him and see what happens.
Yeah, it seems you and I have this debate on a very regular basis. What makes the most sense? And I would be in the camp that the coach from Alberta is in. Hey, you're down 18, now you're down 19. He's one of your better players. Creates all kinds of space in the key. Has lots of great size. You need him in the game to cut into this lead. If he's sitting on the bench, he's not doing you much good. If he gets that foul, he gets that foul. Glad to see that call, actually.
And I think for like most things, it comes down to who the player is. I think coaches obviously have a good understanding of their players, and there's some that you can play with a couple more fouls, others you can't. But tough go there for Alberta.
just well-disciplined team. Noticed when Alberta came out from the locker room, chins up. He's got a gap there. Oh.
Had a look, decided to pass it off. He'll get the rebound anyway, puts it back up. That doesn't go. Another offensive board, and we'll get some free throws. Quebec won the rebounding battle in the first half by 4, but Alberta taking control of the boards here. Coaches will always tell big man there's about 6 to 8 points just off of offensive boards if you want them and you work hard enough. That's certainly the message Nathan Barton got. He gets one of those to drop. And shot blocked. Fight for the board. Barton passes
They got
it
numbers.
Up. He's going to take the three. He's been making them, and he splashes it home. Big three-pointer, 15-point game.
Extremely confident shooter. Noticed that in the first half already. There's a couple of kids on Quebec, the same thing. They step up to the ball. You just expect them to score. And he's one of them on the Alberta team. Gave up a bit of an easy 2 there, but
drive to the rim, able to get through defenders, but doesn't get the bucket to go. You know what? If at first you don't succeed, try again.
We noticed it with the 2 U15 teams or the 4 U15 teams that we watched play yesterday, just how disciplined the players were and the coaches as well. And I'm going to say the exact same thing about these 2 teams. Well disciplined, well coached. Just a lot of fun to watch play.
And that's tough shot there.
Got a piece of that.
Yep. And that's the fun of going to these national games, national tournament games, is as we get a rare turnover there. And one inside once again. Incredible body control and strength to finish it off. But as I was saying, when you have these national tournaments, you are getting the best of the best from each province, and so you get those well-disciplined, well-coached players. And that's the other thing, when you're putting together a provincial team, if somebody's not extremely coachable and you don't think they're going to listen, you don't have to take them because you know the next guy up is going to be just as good and ready to listen.
Yeah, you bet. And when you and I were contacted again this spring, would we be willing to help broadcast the games? We really jumped at the chance just because it's so much fun to come to the gym and watch these kids play.
Alberta trying to create three-pointer in the corner, doesn't go. Now Quebec in transition, up ahead, and free throws on the way. And again, we've talked about Quebec's speed, and that's part of the reason they've been able to draw so many fouls. They get by you so quickly, and all of a sudden you're not in the right position to make a strong defensive play, and instead are left giving up a foul.
Yeah, Quebec just so fast up and down the floor, creating a bit of a nightmare for Alberta. On the miss on the other end, they're just down within, I would say 3 or 4 seconds. They're already making an attempt at the rim.
Second free throw good. So Alberta still some work to do. We're kind of keeping pace with Quebec so far this quarter, but that's not going to be enough. That shot doesn't go. Quebec once again racing. And that's going to be an offensive foul.
So you mentioned it earlier in the game that teams are figuring each other out and deciding how to defend, how to play their offense. And Alberta's seen enough of that fast break. They decided to stand up and protect that area underneath the basket, and we're rewarded for it.
And good look at the three, doesn't go. Now Quebec once again on the break, and that one just falls off. So
Alberta with a little bit of a break there.
And Quebec getting their hands on a lot of passes right now. Offensive board and put back is good.
Almost rolled out. Getting some bad luck there, but that one went down for him. 17 points. Quebec leads. 4:52 left in the third.
And another big block here. No lack of rejection. Kick out.
6 on the shot clock.
And pass in the corner and just had to put it up. Didn't have enough time. Ball going to go to Quebec. So Quebec doing a good job to stave off any potential run here from Alberta.
Yeah, Quebec playing a very comfortable basketball game.
Very physical play inside. And going to call that for a travel. And Quebec coach frustrated with the refereeing. Feels like there's been some excessive contact.
Would you say there's been excessive contact?
There's been contact. That's for sure. It's been a physical game and one there. Maybe the conversation from the coach in his ear a little bit as he called that one, but certainly a foul and one. And that bumps the lead up to 19. Chance to make it 20. And that's the biggest lead here for Quebec so far. Led throughout this game from the first bucket, which was a slam dunk. That foul went on Nathan Barton, his third. So the bigs for Alberta struggling with fouls. Weaver passing it outside, gets it picked off. Quebec now fumbling with it and travel. Just a little too excited.
Little stutter step there when he took the pass.
Alberta putting some shooting on the court. Logan Powell. See if they go for a few more three-point attempts. And hounding defense here up at the top. And eventually going to be a foul. Prosper being called for the foul.
Yeah, you called that the hounding defense that just got a little bit too aggressive, but give Quebec credit. They're not going to sit back. This is a national tournament. They've practiced all summer to be here. They're going to work hard this whole game.
So Prosper picking up his third foul. Only real foul trouble. Ball smacked away. Nice pass in transition, and that will get them the 2 points. Quebec starting to put this out of reach for Alberta, but still lots of time left. And nice pass inside, and that's going to be an and one.
They often get the offensive player in the head when they reach over. It doesn't appear like they've made any body contact, but the upper part of their arm under their bicep often just grazes the top of the head of the offensive player. And that's where that call comes from. And you really have to be standing there to see it, because from this distance, it's hard to really tell that contact was made. But oftentimes we'll see it on the television. When the replay is done, we'll see that foul.
And foul there. We're going to get some free throws. Both teams in the bonus with 2:38 left in the third. (64-44). Quebec leads by 20. Makes that 21. So both free throws good. 22-point lead now. Quebec in the driver's seat. Weaver fighting for that one, and he's going to be called for a foul.
Kind of reached, grabbed by the shoulder, trying to get at the ball on the way by.
Weaver's second foul of the game. So this game really slowed down by a lot of free throws. Most of the games we've watched, we've done mostly U15 games so far this tournament, and all very high pace, back and forth games. This one has been a rare, slow pace game.
Really, the first 6 or 7 minutes of the first quarter was a really high intensity, high paced. Alberta was in it for most of that quarter, down 5, down 7, but still in the game, threatening a number of times.
You heard that contact from over here. Didn't have to watch the replay to see the arm hit there.
Yeah, and our monitor's missing, so we don't get a chance to see the replays anyway, so I'm going to take your word for it.
Can confirm it was an and-one. Not a lot of debate on that one. And Dahlwall at the free throw line. Completing the nice play there, and that one bounced all around and in. And he just wasn't ready for it, a little too soon.
.206 left. Alberta down 21. 2:06 left in the third, I should say.
Another steal by Quebec. Drive to the rim, and so much strength to finish that play. I know we've said it a lot of times, but there's just been a lot of buckets where Quebec's kind of hung in there, taken contact, and finished off the play. Very physically gifted players here today.
I'm watching closely the body language of this Alberta team, and I like it.
They certainly haven't given up. They're in a tough position for sure. But again, as I mentioned earlier in the second quarter, it hasn't been a game where one team's gone on a large run. It's just been Quebec slowly but surely pushing up that lead, getting stops, getting out in transition. Occasional bucket here from Alberta, but preventing any sort of run. And put back good.
Offensive rebounds. They've done well at those, but also very impressed with this Quebec team at their intensity and their ability just to run the whole game.
And we got a foul on the rebound there. Going to be 2 free throws from Alberta. Quebec coach has some questions for the referee. But going to be a foul. 2 free throws coming up for Alberta. chance to get it under 20. You know, I've seen it before. It wouldn't be the first time this tournament the team came back from being down 20-0, or being down by 20 rather. And certainly Alberta, as you said, body language, looking composed here, haven't lost their cool, lost their temper, gotten frustrated. They've just kept playing, kept working, and you know, basketball, it's a game of runs, and we haven't seen one yet.
Nope.
It'd be shocking to go an entire game without one.
Right. But it's a testament to coaching, to parents, to teammates, and how you conduct yourself on the floor. Yeah, it's about playing basketball and doing really well on it, but it's how you react to the adversity that really is the medal. And I'm impressed with really, again, both teams here. Alberta just working hard. Starting to see a little bit of frustration on Quebec's part with some of the officials' calls, which is a little surprising being up 20, but at the same time, they just have an intensity. They want to win. They want to do their best. And all in all, it's still an enjoyable contest to watch.
And good drive to the rim. Wow, how was he able to get that through? Snuck in between defenders. 18-point game.
Little dipsy doodle, they call that.
Dipsy doodle. 10 seconds now, ball moving back and forth. Almost lost that. Some good movement for a three-point attempt, doesn't go. And that will end it. So right back where they started at the end of the half. Quebec leads by 18, 70-52. We still got one more quarter of basketball. Don't be going away quite yet.
And if you were watching on your phone, you have a break now to open up Twitter, send a tweet down to Fredericton, New Brunswick, at Phildrost, Phildrost, sitting here at the Richard J. Curry Center on the campus of the University of New Brunswick, the oldest established university in Canada, well known for their engineering and kinesiology programs, also well known to be built on a hill. So if you have classes at the bottom of the hill and classes at the top of the hill, by the end of the semester, you've gotten your workout, your daily workout, just going to class.
Well, it's good for the sports teams here. They never have to do conditioning or practice.
Correct.
They just make sure all their students get to class on time.
You bet.
Throw a couple textbooks in there. There's your weight training.
Sure.
It's all good. Now, I just had all my classes. I attended St. Thomas University, the campus just above UNB, so I didn't have to walk too far.
St. Thomas University's claim to fame, the alma mater of the Right Honorable Brian Mulroney. He came to campus 5 or 6 years ago to do a keynote speech. I got an opportunity to stand in a crowd and listen to the great storyteller Brian Mulroney talk about his days with Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher at the G8 conferences. But I digress. We're here to talk about basketball, and that we're doing. Great contest here between Quebec and Alberta. Quebec, as you mentioned, really the three quarters didn't go in on any 10-0 runs that I recall. Just 2 or 3 here, 2 or 3 extra here, just spread it out. And really, it seems like they took a 6-point lead each quarter to really gain this 18-point lead. So 10 minutes left in the contest. Let's see what Alberta is willing to do.
And an improvement from the free throw line for Quebec in that quarter. Shot 8 of 11 from the line, making a difference there.
10 of 18 in the first half. So again, just a matter of getting used to the rims and the atmosphere here in this gym. They've done a great job adjusting to that.
Leading scorer for Quebec so far, Mathurin with 22 points and 6 boards. And some strong defense, and he got a little excited there, fumbled it, and strong move inside. Quebec with 0 let up. Nice drive inside, puts it up. A lot of people in there, and gets the 2 to go.
The Quebec coach thought there was a 3 in the key there.
Three-pointer, that doesn't drop.
Not so, says the official.
18-point game. If Alberta's going to make a run, they need to start soon.
Mid-ranger.
Tough mid-range shot.
Haven't seen many of those go up in the last 10 or 12 minutes.
Turnover saved by Alberta. Now going the other way. Nice find inside, and a little too much excitement, but slams are down.
Well, you asked me at the half, are we going to see another dunk? And I said yes. I thought it might be a breakaway dunk by Quebec. And it just proves how wrong I can be.
How wrong we tend to be.
Well, tend to be, that sounds a little bit hurtful.
Oh. And the bounce off save not working. 16-point game here. Alberta a chance to continue to chip away at this lead, but unfortunately for them, goes out of bounds. 7:44 left.
But again, neither team's successful in any kind of runs. Again, as you mentioned, Quebec has just chipped away and added points here and there, but no big runs by either team.
Nice passing inside, but defense was there, and they're going to call a foul. So, free throws here for Malonga. Trying to bump that lead back up to 18. And he does, so once again, 18-point lead. Alberta has had to play without their big man, Swanton Roger, for most of this second half. Fouled out just a few minutes into the third quarter. And the Quebec defense not giving any sort of opening here. And tough defense. Looks like he got hit in the face on that one. And off of Alberta. .7:05 left. After this game, we have British Columbia and New Brunswick. I'm sure we're going to get a very packed gym for that game. Tough shot there. And three-pointer on the way. That one splashes home. See if that ignites a bit of a run.
6:38 left. More ridiculous things have happened. They got to protect the rim a little bit better than that if they're going to stop a run, because now she's back up to 17 again.
And a foul.
Long way from the rim, right? You and I have talked about that so many times in the AUS. Fouls committed 75 feet from the from your opposition's basket. You're not saving a point there.
That's what happens. You know, Quebec playing very aggressive defense, and when you're that aggressive, you know, you're going to get a few of those fouls a long way from the rim.
That's his second one this half. Not this quarter, but this half. Really having a hard time getting open for threes.
And you know Alberta's got the players who can hit them. Whenever they seem to have been open. And another big slam. And Alberta just holding on to that. Drive to the rim, and he gets it 2 points right back. So a bit of back and forth here.
no give up in these guys in either team. Both teams are going to go to the very end, and they're at a national tournament. They're definitely playing for pride, and they're doing an excellent job.
Three-pointer, up and good. Back-to-back, 2 threes this quarter, coming from Humility.
So 14 points. I think the biggest lead was 21. Am I right?
I believe so. 24, actually, I think. 24.
Got to protect the rim just a little bit better than that. You mentioned it earlier. Alberta's done a great job to position themselves here in this fourth quarter. Now down 16, but 5 minutes left. Good shooting can change a lot.
Now Quebec going the other way, and a slam right on him. Took that one with force. And a lot of contact there, no call.
Timeout for the Alberta team.
A bit of a track meet breaking out here. A lot of to and fro, back and forth.
I wonder what the fro always means with the to and the fro.
Some things we'll just never know.
Some things are just mysteries of the universe.
Correct, correct.
Chance to check the Twitter.
Looks like we might have only one tweet coming in today.
Yeah, that's bad for us.
We're only a little hurt. It's okay. But 82-64, so again, right back where we started this half. Still an 18-point difference despite some nice plays from Alberta, getting some open looks from three, but Quebec has just each time comes back with some strength. And one of the things both teams have actually done well is after a big play from one team, the other team has been quick to come back and not get discouraged. You know, I think of the dunk from Quebec. Usually after you get dunked on, you know, your feet move just a little bit slower on that possession. You're a little disappointed. But Alberta came right back and scored just as quickly. So that goes back to what you were saying about just the maturity and discipline from these teams.
And listen, Quebec had 50 points at the half. And so it looked like they were on track to score 100. And they're sitting at 82 now with 4:43 left. So Alberta's done a good job on their defense.
Weaver trying to get inside. Met with opposition. Three on the way, doesn't go. And that's going to be blue ball.
So that's one of those calls where it looked like there was a push-off by the Quebec player. They decided whether or not to either give the ball to Alberta or call the foul.
But taken, and he's going to go all the way to the rim, and he'll get the two. Quebec so deadly in transition. Just so much strength and athleticism. And drive to the rim, but stuffed by the rim. And another foul here. Actually, much more high-paced quarter than we've been used to here. Only 3 fouls, and we're over halfway through the quarter. But that will be the 4th foul going on Prosper. He's going to take a break. Coach feels comfortable giving him a breather, knowing that he can put him back in if things get dire. But time the enemy here for Alberta, and that shot rejected and out of bounds. And three-pointer in the corner. Couldn't hit his third of the quarter. Now Quebec going the other way. Inside, kicks it out. Three-pointer up, doesn't go. Quebec hasn't been able to knock down those looks in the corner as much this half. And just a waltz into the paint there. Thought about another three-point attempt. Ball inside. And Alberta able to steal it.
Just impressed at how hard Alberta's working right now in a game that's somewhat away from them.
Lost his footing a bit there. And almost another dunk, but great contest from Alberta.
Team captain. He'll finish the game.
Mwamba at the free throw line. Chance to push it to 20.
Or 21.
The backwards and one. Otherwise known as the and two.
Huh. You've established some new lingo, Phil.
New lingo? I thought everyone knew that one. Nice pass inside. Tried to put it out quick, but the putback's good. Again, this entire half, Alberta staying with Quebec just because of that first half, unable to come back in. And taken away, and he really was going up to crush that one, and foul on the way up. Alberta not letting anyone have any easy opportunities. 2:20 left to go in this game. So 19-point game. Alberta looks like they're going to be tough for them to come back to this one, but great showing here from them. Coming up against a very tough Quebec team. Quebec certainly looking like they have what it takes to go all the way in this tournament.
Agreed.
And Alberta not deciding to put in their bench or anything. They're still working hard for this one. Nice find inside. Now Quebec going the other way. Cross-court pass. And pass inside, taken away. Quebec now going, or Alberta rather. And really tough defense there, getting their hands on that ball. Fast break now. Bounces it off the backboard and tried to throw it down. Certainly some showmanship with this Quebec team. They went for that one. Weren't afraid of the attempt. And going to stay with Quebec, 1:33 left. 2-3 zone here from Alberta. Three-pointer up, doesn't go. Quebec hasn't been able to convert from there.
Nope. Alberta sticking with their main squad here.
And Quebec going to throw down another jam. Emphatic slam once again.
I think at least the sixth dunk of this game.
And three-pointer doesn't go.
Oh!
And able to sneak that one up and in. So if you came here for a few dunks, you will walk away happy.
Yes.
Under a minute to go here. 21-point lead for Quebec. They'll likely advance, barring something truly shocking. But as you said, Alberta, whole game, never gave up, even in these final minutes. Still worked hard, trying to make as much of a difference as they can. But Quebec, incredibly talented team. Won't be the last we see of them, obviously. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Maybe Alberta's final possession. Now 8 seconds on the shot clock because we had a kick ball violation. And taken away by Quebec now. And they decide to hold it. And that will end this game as time winds down. Quebec will win 91 or 91 to 70, 21-point victory over Alberta. They shall advance. And we'll be back in 20 minutes with another basketball game. British Columbia versus New Brunswick. See you in a bit.
Bye, folks.